Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? Today, we're tackling AI-powered education. We're going to be exploring the fascinating world of AI tutors and how they could totally revolutionize learning.
It's really a game changer, potentially. We've always talked about personalized learning, but it's been tough to actually do it on a large scale, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, AI might just hold the key.
Interesting.
There's this concept called the 2 sigma problem. You familiar with that?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Okay, cool. So it comes from a 1984 study by Benjamin Bloom.
Okay.
And basically, it found that students who had one-on-one tutoring did way better.
Like how much better?
2 standard deviations better. That's 2 sigmas.
Wow, that's a huge difference.
Right. It's massive. So the question is, how do you give every student that kind of individual attention?
That's got to be a challenge.
Exactly. It's practically impossible with traditional methods. But that's where AI comes in.
Okay, I'm seeing where you're going with this.
AI can personalize education in ways we never thought possible before. Imagine learning tailored to your specific needs, your pace,
It would identify your strengths, your weaknesses, like your own personal roadmap.
Precisely. And that brings us to Sal Khan and Khan Academy. They're at the forefront of all this.
Makes sense. They've always been pushing the boundaries of education.
Exactly. And Sal Khan himself was so amazed by the potential of AI that when he first used GPT-4, this powerful language model, well, he couldn't sleep for weeks.
Really?
Yeah, he was that excited about it. So Khan Academy has been developing this AI-powered tutoring system called Migo.
I've heard a little about it, yeah.
And this is not your typical chatbot just giving you answers. This is different.
So how does it work?
Migo is designed to guide you. It makes you think critically, solve problems on your own. It really pushes you.
So like if I'm stuck on a math problem, it won't just give me the answer, right?
Right. It'll nudge you in the right direction, asking questions to help you understand the concepts behind it.
So it's like having a tutor who can, I don't know, see inside my head and know how to help me get unstuck.
That's a great way to put it. And there was this cool example in the material about Migo helping a student with coding. Remember that one?
Yeah, the one where the student was trying to make clouds move across the screen, but only one was moving.
Exactly. Migo could analyze their code and see where they went wrong.
And I bet it didn't just tell them the answer, did it?
Nope. It gave them very specific instructions to fix the problem themselves.
So the student actually learned how to do it on their own. That's awesome. It can even connect learning to real-world goals, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there an example about a student asking why they needed to learn about cell size?
Yeah, and Migo knew that this student wanted to be a professional athlete.
Oh, okay.
So it explained how understanding cell size is actually crucial for nutrition and how the body functions, to perform at your best.
That's amazing, making it relevant to their personal aspirations. I love that. And from what I understand, Migo can do even more than that. It can be like a guidance counselor, a debate partner, even a coach.
It's incredibly versatile. It can help you explore careers, practice arguing your point, all sorts of things.
Wow. It's like having a whole team of experts at your fingertips.
That's a great way to think about it. But let's switch gears for a second. Let's talk about writing. Because there's a lot of talk about how AI might affect writing skills, right?
Yeah, there's definitely some concern that AI will just do the writing for students.
Yeah.
And they won't learn how to do it themselves.
It's a valid worry. But what if instead of replacing writing, AI actually helped people become better writers?
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
So Khan Academy's developed this feature where you can actually collaborate with Migo on creative writing projects. You write a few sentences, then it writes a few sentences back and forth.
That's really interesting.
It's like you're building a story together. And it's been a big hit. Even Sal Khan's 8-year-old son, who didn't really like to write before, is now totally into it because of this feature.
That's pretty impressive. It sounds like AI could make writing more fun and engaging,
Yeah.
especially for younger kids. But I'm curious, how does it actually work? Does Migo just write this story for you?
Not at all. It's a genuine collaboration. You come up with the initial idea, and then you and Migo take turns contributing to the story, sentence by sentence.
So it's more like a back-and-forth brainstorming session.
Exactly. Migo can help you flesh out your ideas, come up with plot twists, even help you improve your writing style.
That's really cool. It's like having a brainstorming partner and a writing coach all in one. And the fact that it's getting kids excited about writing, that's amazing.
It is. But wait, there's more. Khan Academy is always working on new stuff. They've got a prototype where you can read a complex text.
Like what kind of text?
They're using Steve Jobs' Stanford commencement speech as an example. You read that, and then you can have a Socratic dialogue with Conmigo about it.
A Socratic dialogue. That sounds intense.
It is, but in a good way. Conmigo will highlight parts of the speech and ask you thought-provoking questions about it, like about the message, the word choices, the whole structure of the argument.
It's like having your own personal literature professor guiding you through the text. Wow. What else are they working on?
Well, they're also developing a writing coach feature where Conmigo can actually give you feedback on your drafts. See if your arguments make sense, if your evidence supports your claims, things like that.
So it's helping you become a more effective writer overall.
Exactly. It's not just about fixing grammar and spelling. It's about helping you improve your thinking and communication skills.
This is all incredibly exciting. We've talked a lot about how AI can help students, but what about the teachers?
Oh, that's a great point. And it turns out Conmigo has a teacher mode that's pretty amazing. Think of it like a superpowered teacher's guide.
Superpowered, huh? I'm intrigued. What can it do?
Well, imagine having AI that could instantly generate detailed answers to any question, or suggest teaching strategies tailored to your students' needs.
Okay, that would be super helpful.
It can even help create custom lesson plans.
Wow. That would save teachers a ton of time.
Exactly. It gets even better. Conmigo can also assist with grading. It can give you detailed reports on your students' progress. It can even offer insights into individual learning patterns.
So instead of being bogged down with all that administrative stuff, teachers can focus on what matters most, connecting with their students, being there for them, creating that dynamic learning environment.
Precisely. It's about giving teachers the tools and the time to be more effective, to really personalize the learning experience for each and every student. But here's the thing, simply plugging in a large language model, like ChatGPT, isn't enough to create a truly beneficial learning experience.
That makes sense. So what is Khan Academy doing to make sure that Conmigo is actually effective?
That's the million-dollar question, and that's what we'll get into next. They're really thinking deeply about how to use this technology in a way that's both engaging and, educationally sound. It's not just about having the latest AI. It's about using it the right way.
That makes sense. But what does that look like in practice? How are they making Conmigo more effective?
Well, for one thing, they're teaching Conmigo to think before it speaks, just like a good human tutor would.
Think before it speaks. I like that. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so imagine a student's working on a math problem and they make a mistake. Instead of just pointing out the error, Conmigo actually generates an internal thought process. It might think something like, okay, the student got this answer, but instead of telling them they're wrong, let me ask them to explain how they got there.
Oh, I see. So it's trying to understand the student's thinking, not just the answer.
Exactly. And that way it can provide more tailored guidance, really help the student get to that aha moment.
That's really impressive. It's almost like Conmigo is simulating what a skilled human tutor would do.
Right. It's not just reacting, it's understanding. And that's just one example of how Khan Academy is going beyond just integrating AI. They're really crafting Conmigo to be a true learning companion.
It all comes back to that 2 sigma problem, right? Sal Khan believes AI can actually turn it into a 2 sigma opportunity, really improve learning for all students.
It's a powerful idea, isn't it? Imagine a world where every student has access to that kind of personalized support.
That would be incredible. But of course, with any powerful technology, there are always concerns.
Oh, absolutely. And it's important to acknowledge those. Some people worry that students might use AI tutors like Conmigo to cheat, or that they'll become too reliant on it and won't learn to think for themselves.
Yeah, those are valid concerns. How is Khan Academy addressing those potential pitfalls?
Well, they've got safeguards in place. For example, all conversations with Conmigo are recorded and can be reviewed by teachers and parents.
So that discourages students from using it inappropriately. Makes sense.
Right. And it's important to remember that Conmigo isn't designed to give easy answers. It's about guiding students, encouraging them to engage in the learning process,
To become active learners, not passive recipients.
Exactly. And let's go back to that idea of AI and writing skills for a second, because even though that collaborative storytelling feature sounds amazing, I can see why some people might still worry that relying too much on AI could make students less capable of writing on their own.
Yeah, it's a legitimate concern. But I think it's important to remember that AI can be a really powerful tool for scaffolding learning. Like training wheels on a bike.
Oh, I like that analogy.
They help you while you're learning, but eventually you don't need them anymore.
Exactly. You outgrow them and ride on your own. So the goal here is to use AI to support and enhance human skills, not to replace them.
Right. It's like a calculator. It doesn't make us worse at math. It just frees us up to focus on the more complex stuff.
Precisely. And in the same way, AI can help us automate some parts of writing so we can focus on the things that make human communication unique. The creativity, the strategy.
And that brings us back to Sal Khan's vision, right? AI enhancing human intelligence, potential, purpose.
It's a powerful vision. It's about challenging ourselves to think beyond the limits of traditional education, to embrace the possibilities of a future where learning is truly personalized, engaging, accessible to everyone.
This deep dive has really given me a lot to think about. What stands out to you as the most impactful takeaway from all of this?
I think for me, it's the realization that AI isn't just some technological advancement. It's actually a reflection of our own ingenuity, our desire to push the boundaries of education.
I love that perspective.
Right.
It's not AI versus humans. It's about how we can work together to create something truly extraordinary.
Exactly. And that's why I believe it's so important to approach AI development with both enthusiasm and caution. We need to be aware of the risks, of course, but we also need to be bold in exploring its potential.
Well said. This conversation has certainly sparked my imagination. I'm excited to see how AI continues to shape the future of education and how we can all play a role in that. But I'm also mindful of the potential downsides. What about those who might use AI for less noble purposes? Spreading misinformation, creating deepfakes, that sort of thing.
That's a valid concern, absolutely. And it highlights the importance of ethical considerations in AI development. We need to make sure it's used responsibly, that we have safeguards in place to prevent misuse.
So it's about finding that balance, right? Embracing the potential, but also mitigating the risks.
Exactly. It's a journey, and it requires collaboration, critical thinking, and a willingness to adapt.
Speaking of adaptation, what do you think this means for the future of the teaching profession? Some people worry that AI tutors could eventually replace teachers altogether.
That's a fear that comes up every time there's a big technological shift in education. But history shows us that technology doesn't replace teachers. It transforms their roles. Just like the printing press didn't eliminate the need for teachers, AI won't make them redundant.
So what will it do?
It will free them up from those tedious, repetitive tasks, allow them to focus on the human elements of teaching, the mentoring, the inspiring, the fostering of creativity.
It's about shifting from being the sage on the stage to the guide on the side.
Precisely. Teachers will become more like facilitators, curators of learning experiences. Their expertise will be even more valuable in a world where information is everywhere, but knowing what to do with it requires those critical thinking skills that AI can't provide.
So rather than fearing AI, teachers should see it as an opportunity to redefine their roles and have even greater impact on their students. It really does sound like AI could help teachers do what they do best, focus on those human connections that are so important in education.
Exactly. And think about the potential for addressing inequality in education, right?
Yeah.
Students in underserved communities, they often don't have access to great tutors or resources. AI could change that.
That's a really important point. AI could help level the playing field, make quality education accessible to everyone.
That's the dream, isn't it? Democratizing knowledge, personalizing learning, giving every student the chance to reach their full potential.
This whole deep dive has been amazing. I'm really starting to see how AI could not only solve that Two Sigma problem, but also create a more equitable and effective learning experience for all students.
It's a powerful vision, but it comes with responsibility. We have to make sure that we're using this technology wisely, ethically, that it benefits all of humanity, not just a select few.
Absolutely. So if we had to sum up everything we've talked about into one key takeaway, what would it be?
I think the most important thing to remember is this. The future of education isn't about AI replacing teachers or students becoming passive learners. It's about humans and AI working together to create a more personalized, engaging, equitable learning experience for everyone.
I love that. That's a fantastic way to put it. This has been an incredible journey exploring the potential of AI in education.
It really has. And as we move forward, the choices we make today are going to shape the future of learning for generations to come.
So let's choose wisely. Let's embrace the possibilities, work together to create a future where AI helps us all learn, grow, and thrive. And for all of you listening out there, I hope this deep dive has inspired you to think about the role you might play in shaping your future. It's a future full of potential, and we can't wait to see what it holds. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and until next time, keep those minds open to the wonders of learning.